Val Kilmer, did he have the most successful dating history of any star? I don't know. What do you guys think? I was trying to think of someone else who's dated as many famous and gorgeous women, and couldn't really think of anybody. If you got suggestions, let me know. I'll look them up.
They split in 1984 after 2 years together but remained close friends. Cher has described Kilmer as exasperating and hysterical, yet someone she deeply admired. Cher supported Kilmer during his battle with throat cancer in the mid-2000s, housing him in her guest house while he recovered. She praised his bravery and artistry, calling him a Renaissance man. Kilmer has also spoken fondly of Cher in his memoir I'm Your Huckleberry, recounting their connection.
So, if you don't know, Val Kilmer just died, I believe, this week at 65 years old. He had throat cancer. I believe he was a lifelong smoker. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, died at 65. I believe Cher is still alive, and she is in her early 80s, I believe.
Val Kilmer and Michelle Pfeiffer had a brief romantic relationship in 1985. They dated for a short period, from early 1985 until April of the same year. During this time, they also appeared together in the ABC after-school special One Too Many, which was directed by Pfeiffer's then-husband, Peter Horton. Kilmer has written about his relationship with Pfeiffer in his poetry, reflecting on their connection in his book, My Edens After Burns. Despite their short-lived romance, both actors have maintained a professional respect for each other over the years.
By the way, Michelle Pfeiffer, does she have the craziest eyes when she looks angry? I don't know. She's got to have one of the most intense looks of any woman in Hollywood.
Val Kilmer and Leslie Ann Warren had a brief romantic relationship from September to November 1986. Val Kilmer and Joanne Whalley met on the set of Willow in 1987 and married in 1988. They had two children, Mercedes, born 1991, and Jack, born 1995.
If you haven't seen Willow, great movie. Great movie to watch with your kids. Highly recommend.
96 years. Val Kilmer and Cindy Crawford had a brief romantic relationship in 1996. Their connection occurred shortly after Kilmer's divorce from Joanne Whalley. The relationship lasted from March to May 1996, making it a short-lived romance. In his memoir, I'm Your Huckleberry, Kilmer expressed deep affection for Crawford, stating, I loved Cindy and just kept loving her. He even remarked that her love was too much to bear, and joked that he could have died from her love.
Imagine Cindy Crawford had to be drama. I mean, I think she was arguably the biggest supermodel of all time.
The couple reportedly traveled together and enjoyed a globe-trotting adventure during their time together. Part of the reason for their breakup was Kilmer's disapproval of some advertising work Crawford did for a bar, which he later admitted was unreasonable. Despite their brief romance, Kilmer has spoken fondly of Crawford, describing her as smart, funny, and an excellent cook. Val Kilmer and Elizabeth Shue were co-stars in the 1997 film The Saint, where they developed a close friendship. While rumors circulated about a romantic relationship between them, both actors have denied these claims.
And obviously, they knew each other from Top Gun as well, because she was the main love interest with Tom Cruise in Top Gun. So I'm assuming they met on set there as well.
Time rather than being instant. Val Kilmer and J.C. Gossett, a producer and dancer from New York, were
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
Val Kilmer and Daryl Hannah had a brief but deeply significant.
All right, let's look at Daryl Hannah. She might be the nicest person in the world, but she's always given me that vibe. Like it's almost like look at that picture. It almost looks like she's possessed or something.
Romantic relationship from 2001 to 2002. Their connection began after co-starring in the film In God We Trust, later renamed Hard Cash, and they lived together in New Mexico during their time as a couple. Val Kilmer and Neve Campbell reportedly had a brief romantic,
I don't think anybody cares about Nev Campbell.
and Angelina Jolie were briefly romantically linked during the filming of Alexander in 2004. While
If you haven't seen Alexander, amazing movie. And it's an extremely long movie. I can't remember. It's like 3 or 4 hours long or something, but just insanely good movie. Val Kilmer, it's like a super unusual character for him, where he's like this just kind of overly angry king, and Angelina Jolie's like manipulating him and basically trying to take power from him. But yeah, and that's just a small part of the movie, but just phenomenal movie if you like those historic movies, just explaining how insane the world was, under the rise of Alexander the Great.
their relationship was never officially confirmed, Kilmer has openly expressed his admiration for Jolie in his memoir, I'm Your Huckleberry.
And I think we can all say he dodged a bullet there. How Angelina Jolie has not been canceled with her obvious, whatever you want to call it, manipulation, not manipulation, is fraud. She committed fraud over and over again with her divorce with Brad Pitt, trying to set him up as an abuser, lies and lies and lies. It just shows the hypocrisy in Hollywood. She should be canceled. She should no longer ever be in Hollywood. She's just obviously a horrible, abusive person.
Kilmer and Jolie met on a New York street before being cast in Oliver Stone's historical epic Alexander. They played King Philip II and Queen Olympias, respectively. Kilmer described their bond as meaningful and deeply personal. He was present during a difficult time in Jolie's life when her mother, Marceline Bertrand, was battling cancer, and they were staying in the same hotel. Kilmer wrote that he couldn't wait to kiss Angie, and described her as perhaps the most soulful and serious of all his past loves. He praised her as being more gorgeous, more wise, more tragic, more magic, and more grounded than other women and superstars. There is no confirmed romantic relationship between Val Kilmer and Paris Hilton. However,
I don't know, that picture looks like confirmation enough for me.
Val Kilmer and
No idea who that is.
Val Kilmer and Winona Ryder had a brief romantic encounter in November 2000.
Yeah, I mean, I think isn't Winona Ryder the one that was like arrested stealing drugs at a pharmacy? Just another just insane Hollywood person.
Public information about Val Kilmer's romantic relationships. His personal life became more private, especially as he focused on his health and family following.
So if you guys haven't seen the documentary on Amazon, I believe it's an Amazon Prime original. I think it's just called Val. It's a really, really good documentary about his life. And the crazy thing is, if you haven't seen the movie Heat, arguably one of his best movies, top three movies, he did Heat instead of continuing down the path of Batman. And I think that was one of the biggest regrets of his life. He would have been financially set if he would have continued on with Batman. But he wanted to work with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. And yeah, it's kind of a tragic story. I mean, it's obviously not that simple. I think he lived in excess, and obviously, if he would have managed his money right, he would have been fine. But yeah, I mean, he basically missed his biggest payday, giving up on Batman to work in Michael Mann's movie Heat, Heat. Check out Heat if you haven't seen it. Known as the greatest bank robbery movie of all time, and if I'm not mistaken, it's also inspired many crimes, many bank robberies. Anyway, guys, what do you think? Who had a more famous, more beautiful woman, whatever, who had a greater dating history than Val Kilmer here? Let me know.